Hello everyone, and welcome back to another of my top 10 moments of the year from EastEnders. And this week we're looking at the year that was 1988. And boy, was this a busy year. I actually found it really hard to narrow this down to just 10, but I managed to do it. And okay, maybe I may have missed a few things off, but in my opinion, these were the top 10 moments of the year. So in at number 10, we say goodbye to a modern icon that is Mary the Punk when she says up yours to all of the square by chucking paint over her dad's business, quitting the job without even letting him know, and getting on the number 2 bus out of Walford with just her and her baby. This moment is obviously iconic because she gives 2 fingers up to everyone on the square, and it has to be cut when it's re-shown in modern day. So everyone loves a rebel.
Well, that's done it now, hasn't it? It's like it's just me and you again.
In at number 9, we have the moment that the audience have been waiting years to hear, and that is Nick Cotton confirming he was the one who actually killed Reg Cox. In the scene set in Dickens Hill Prison, Dirty Den asks Nick outright, "Was it you that ended Reg?" And Nick admits it all, saying they got drunk together, went back to his flat, he saw some things of value, took them, Reg tried to stop him, and Nick just punched him. And that was that. The end of our dear old Reg, and the end of quite a long-running mystery in Walford.
What a business with Reg Cox. So come on, Nick. Tell me. Tell me what happened. It's like a mixture of too much dope and too much booze. 2 feet off the ground, you know? Feel like the most powerful man in the world. Went back to his place. He was legless and he had a bit of cash. Spotted that when he bought the booze at the off licence. So I said to him, hand it all over. And he went all funny. Made me mad as hell. So, kicked his head in.
In at number 8, we have Angie, who's collapsed from near liver failure after heavily drinking through the years of duress that Den has given her. This is the moment in Angie's story where she reaches her lowest point. She collapses in front of Pat and ends up staying in hospital for weeks with a poorly liver. Luckily, her daughter Sharon is there to be by her side, but Den can only muster the courage to turn up every now and then because he doesn't like hospitals. Once again showing that I don't think he really did love Ange the way that she loved him.
I've got used to the routine since I've been staying with her. We ain't to disturb her, just let her rest and keep away all other visitors. I'm so glad she's out of intensive care and back in the ward now.
Yeah, well, you know me in hospitals, Princess. I was glad you were with her, though.
She's my mum, isn't she?
In at number 7 now, and mainly because I just had to find some happy news in this top 10 because from here it gets more and more depressing. We have Ian Beale's 18th birthday when he has all the family around him celebrating. And maybe his best friend Calvin left last year, but that doesn't mean he's been forgotten because Calvin has sent him a dirty book with a little mystery of who it's from. Lucky for us, Dot is on the case when she finds the hidden note inside the book revealing that it's from Calvin. But unlucky for Dot, her eyes come across a lot of sex positions she didn't even think were possible.
Did you put that away?
What is it?
Oh, it's just a book, Doc. Just a book.
No, I don't know nothing about it. Let's have a look.
No.
What? This book has been thoroughly researched by me, and every contortion comes highly recommended. Happy birthday, you old pervert. Kelvin.
How is it Kelvin?
Yeah, what's it about?
I wouldn't if I were you, Doc.
No, Doc, don't. No. I think you better go and sit down, Doc.
In at number 6 now, we have the moment where Donna finally admits to Kathy that she is her daughter, and the reason that she's been trying to get close to Ian is because really she wants to get close to Kathy. Unfortunately for Donna, her dreams and plans of finding her mum aren't exactly what she thought, because Kathy rejects her immediately. Some hard-hitting scenes for the rest of the year for old Donna, and it gets even worse next year. But these moments really showcase how great Gillian Tailforth can be when she's given this hard material. And I just loved Donna as a character, so you'll be seeing a lot more of her in these lists in the years to come.
Oh, look, I never meant it to be like this.
It's all such a jumble in my head. But if you'd been adopted, you'd understand why I had to come and find you. Deep inside, I couldn't rest until I found out the reason why my parents gave me up. All my life I've been waiting. It's my turn. I'm your daughter and I need you.
No, it's too late.
In at number 5 now, we have another long-running moment where Pauline finally confronts Den about being the father to Vicky. And when he does finally admit it, after a little bit of back and forth between the two, his answer from Pauline is just a big old slap in the face. I always love a slap on EastEnders, and when you've given one from Wendy Richards, it feels even better.
At times I've wanted to kill you. I'm not a violent person, but for what you are and for what you've done, hanging's too good for you. Do you want me to tell you?
Look, Pauline, you've been under a lot of strain lately. In fact, the whole family has. So if there's anything I can do,
You're
anything...
Vicky's dad. Dennis, I know.
You can't prove anything.
Maybe we should go in the bar then, eh? Discuss it in there. You're Vicky's dad, ain't you?
Yeah.
In at number 4 now, and like I said, this list gets pretty dark as it goes on, we have the moment where Michelle decides to abort Lofty's baby without even telling him. Now, you may find this a bit of a strange one to include in the top 10 list of the moments, but the way that this was portrayed is so realistic. You follow Michelle from her initial meeting about wanting the abortion right the way through to having it and staying in hospital and speaking to other mums who have done similar things. The way that this was written has always stuck with me since I've seen the episodes, so I had to include them. Just because it's dark, it doesn't mean it can't be in a top 10 moment. And of course, we get to see Sue Tully at her best. And also the character growth of Michelle we see here, where even though she may be being selfish, she's doing it because she wants to live her life. And that's kind of an ongoing theme for Michelle from here on out, and it kind of all stemmed from here.
And there's my gran, we live with my gran as well. I mean, she's a bit old, a bit cantankerous. So not only has like Mum got all that to cope with, she's got me and Vicky now. If I had this baby, then I'd have to go back to Lofty. And I can't. I can't go on penny pinching. I know it sounds selfish, but I've got a life too. I've got my life too. I can't.
In at number 3, we have what I'm calling Kenny Bill week, I suppose. It's when Kenny Bill arrives from New Zealand for a bombshell of revelations about his son, or is it his son, Simon, when Pat is playing games on all of the Bills, saying Pete's the father, Kenny's the father. Oh no, actually it's old Mr. Wicks who's actually the father. We also get the revelation that Lou Bill sent Kenny away because she knew all along what had happened. And we have some great moments between Lou and Pat and Simon, and it's just all so electric, and it goes on for about 4 episodes and it's just non-stop. So that's why it's so up the top for me. But it's not number 1 because it's Kenny Bill. So I'm sure you can understand.
What you're making all the fuss about? Don't you think it's time you grew up? I mean, I told you the truth. It was hard, but I did it. You could get on if you made the effort. I mean, he's got his faults, my Kenny, but he's a proper Bill, like Albert. Good boy, my Kenny. You know what it did to me to send him away. He was one with the girls. Marriage is marriage. I did it for your sake.
Yeah, that's what my mum says.
Oh, I don't want to hear what that evil bitch has to say. If she hadn't been the trollop she is, none of this would have happened.
Look, she's still my mum.
In at number 2, we have the harrowing ordeal of James Wilmot Brown raping Kathy. Of course, Kathy started working for James in the Dagmar, and her relationship with Pete had been on the downward slide since, well, from the beginning. Unfortunately, James takes this as an opportunity to use his power against Kathy by inviting him up for a drink after work. When she wants to leave, he then attacks her and leaves her frightened. Of course, Den finds out and takes his own sort of revenge, but these episodes once again remind us just how great Gillian Tailforth can be. Right from when Den finds her in the flat, through the police interviews with Michelle by her side, right to the trial years later. Gillian doesn't give in a bad performance, and the writing and the scripts hold up even to today. It's like you're sitting in the police interview room with her, and it's something that stays with you for quite a while. And in at number 1, and how could it be anything but number 1, the moment where our Lou Bill says her final goodbyes as she leaves the show forever. That's right, Lou Bill gets about 3 episodes dedicated to her to wrap up all her unfinished business. She has words with Pat, she has words with Den, she tells Dot to go do one and stop being such a nosy cow. She invites the whole family round for a big meeting, which none of them are quite sure what's happening, and we're treated to a lovely 20-minute scene where she goes through each character one by one and tells them exactly what's wrong and what they should be doing for the next 30 years. And a lot of Lou Bill's predictions are actually correct. It's such a great scene and such a sad end to an iconic character. We only got 3 beautiful years of Lou Bill. What a great way to go. She did her business, she went to her room, and went.
Right. That's you lot sorted out. I can go now.
And there you go, those were my personal top 10 moments of 1988. It was a great year. I'm sure I've missed off loads of things, so let me know in the comment below what you think I missed out, or maybe what things shouldn't have been in that top 10. And make sure you join me next week when we go through the year of 1989, which is a very iffy year. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like so you don't miss any news or any of these videos, and I'll see you again next time.